To bring something new into your life, you have to let go of the old. This idea sounds simple, but in reality, it has the power to change a person's destiny. Imagine a cup of tea. As long as it's full, you can't pour any fresh tea into it. The same is true in life. As long as you hold on to what has already served its purpose, there's no room for anything new. We often cling to old thoughts, relationships, and things. Even if they've long stopped supporting us, they still take up space inside. And because of this, we feel emptiness, fatigue, despair. It seems like everything is at a standstill. But the real problem is just that the cup is overflowing. To get unstuck, you have to make the decision to pour out the old tea. This is one of the hardest decisions to make. Letting go of the familiar feels scarier than stepping into the unknown. But without it, movement is impossible. Many people feel lost. They complain that time is slipping away, that life is passing them by. They spend their energy but feel like they're not moving forward. This is because instead of new ideas and experiences, their minds are filled with repetitive thoughts. Inside, there are the same old fears, the same old doubts. In moments like these, it's important to understand there is always a chance. Even if it feels like everything is over, even if you're tired of the struggle, the possibility for change remains. But it requires a first step, letting go of what's holding you back. Imagine a person holding a heavy bag. They are tired, their shoulders ache, but they can't let go of the weight. Why? Because inside there's a fear. If I let go, I'll have nothing left. And as long as they hold on to that bag, they can't pick up anything else. In the same way, we hold on to old ideas, relationships, even grudges. We drag them with us year after year, not realizing that it's these things that drain our strength. The first thing masters advise is to empty the cup. Start with a clean slate. Forget, at least for a while, what you knew up until today. Take a breath and allow yourself to be empty. This state seems frightening, but it's where the new is born. After all, life is like a river. The water in it always flows forward. If you try to hold it with your hands, it will still slip away. But if you relax your hands, you can feel the freshness of the new current. This is why masters of martial arts and spiritual practices always began their training with one simple idea. You know nothing. As long as the student was confident in their wisdom, they couldn't learn. Only by accepting emptiness could they become ready for true knowledge. Perhaps we won't achieve perfection in one lifetime, but we can always become better than we were yesterday. And every step begins with letting go of what no longer serves us. The biggest mistake a person can make is to give up, to decide that nothing will work out and to throw in the towel. This means staying in a pit, even when there's a ladder. Yes, you'll have to climb it slowly, step by step, but each step brings you closer to the light. There are many ways to get out of this pit. For some, it will be a physical practice, sports, breathing exercises. For others, it will be meditation and working with the mind. For others, it will be studying ethics and moral principles. But the journey always begins the same way. You have to stop holding on to the old and decide to move forward. And in that moment, a spark is born inside, a spark of intention. It says, I no longer want to live the old way. I am ready to take a step. The inner spark is what all change begins with. Without it, it's impossible to break out of a habitual cycle. No one else can light it for you. Not the wisest advice, not 1,000 videos you've watched will help if this firm decision isn't born inside. I don't want this anymore. I must take a step. The problem with many people is that they wait for change to come from the outside. They think someone will come and pull them out of the pit. That destiny will suddenly change. That circumstances will solve everything on their own. But the reality is simple. Until you are ready to let go of the old, nothing new will come. The spark of intention can be like a fire. It creates an energy similar to aggression, not aggression against people, but an inner fire that pushes you forward. It's an energy that says, enough, I'm breaking out of this state. Without it, it's impossible to move. But this fire must be controlled. If you let it burn uncontrollably, it will consume everything around you. Then striving will turn into irritation and effort into an exhausting struggle. That's why there should always be silence alongside the spark. Balance is achieved when the strength of intention is combined with calmness. If you are capable of both burning and maintaining clarity at the same time, your path becomes stable. How do you achieve this balance? For this, there are practices tested over millennia. In temples, masters teach that true training is always threefold. body, mind, and morality. Physical practice strengthens the body and the character. When a person learns to withstand strain, they become stronger not only physically but also internally. Every exercise is a small victory over oneself. Meditative practices help to balance the mind. They teach you to let go of unnecessary thoughts, to stop clinging to the old. When you sit in silence and allow thoughts to pass, it's as if you're making room for something new. Meditation is also emptying the cup, but on a level of consciousness. And there is a third area, ethics. This is how you behave with others. You can't build inner strength if you live a life of lies and deceit on the outside. True practice includes honesty, kindness, respect. These qualities become the foundation on which everything else rests. When these three areas connect, body, mind, and morality, harmony is born. And then the inner fire stops being destructive. It turns into the power of intention that leads you forward without burning you out. In life, this is expressed very simply. A person who used to live in apathy suddenly starts taking steps. At first, small ones. In the morning, they get up a little earlier to make time for themselves. Then they start doing physical exercises. Then they notice that it's easier to concentrate, and step by step, they climb out of the pit. Someone might ask, what if I still don't become the best version of myself? The answer is simple. You don't have to. The main thing is to be better than you were yesterday. No one demands perfection from you. It's enough if you move forward even a little. Imagine you are walking through a dark forest. You don't have a map, and you don't know where the exit is. But you have a flashlight. It only lights up a few steps ahead, no more. That's enough. By taking one step at a time, you will still get out of the forest. It's the same in life. You don't need to see the entire road. It's enough to take the next step. And if a spark is burning inside, you can keep going even when the path seems endless. Many people think that change happens suddenly, but in reality, it is always a process. Sometimes slow, sometimes difficult, but always possible. And everyone who decides to walk the path will eventually come out into the light. The main thing is not to give up. Even if you feel like you're standing still, every effort matters. Every time you say, "Today I'll try again," it becomes a building block in your new foundation. And when the inner fire is combined with clarity and calmness, a person begins to feel. Their life is changing. They are no longer a victim of circumstances. They become a participant in their own destiny. But there is one more important step without which change is impossible. Everything we do, physical practices, meditations, efforts, must be connected to how we relate to the world. And this is where the true depth of the path reveals itself. All the efforts we make, physical training, meditation, developing willpower, will be incomplete if they are not connected with how we live among other people. True strength is manifested not only in what we can do alone, but also in how we act in society. Ethics is the third foundation that is often forgotten, but it's what makes the path complete. What does it mean to develop ethical behavior? It means learning to respect others, even if they don't share your views. It means being honest, even when it's easier to lie. It means maintaining kindness, even when the world around you responds with cruelty. In the temple they teach, the strength of the body without morality turns into violence. The strength of the mind without morality turns into cold calculation. Only together with ethics do they become a support that does not crumble over time. This is why all three directions, physicality, meditation, and ethics, have always been united. They form a triangle within which harmony is born. If you remove even one side, the figure will collapse. When a person begins to connect this in their life, they notice something amazing. The old leaves on its own. It's as if you're pouring the leftovers of yesterday's tea out of the cup and feeling the fresh aroma of something new. Everything that used to hold you back gradually loses its power. You stop blaming others for your problems. There is no longer a need to say, "It's their fault." A new understanding comes. Everything depends on how you yourself look at the world. Inner liberation begins not when the world changes, but when your attitude towards it changes. And in that moment, you realize no one else can change you, not a teacher, not a book, not circumstances. Only you yourself can light the spark within you and say, "I don't want this anymore. I choose the new." But for the new to come, the old must go. That's the law. It's not a punishment, it's a natural order. It's impossible to hold on to old shards and simultaneously pick up something new. You have to decide to let go. And even if this step seems frightening, even if the emptiness scares you, it is precisely in it that everything real is born. Meditation helps you feel this emptiness as a state of power. You sit, close your eyes, and let go of your thoughts. At first, it's noisy inside. The mind tries to hold on to the familiar. But if you continue, the noise subsides. And suddenly you realize, in this silence, there is no fear. There is space. Clarity is born in it. This is emptying the cup. There is no loss in it. There is liberation. Because only someone who is ready to become empty can be filled with something new. And then movement begins again. The person who was sitting in a pit yesterday takes a step forward today. The one who felt lost finds a direction. The one who complained of emptiness discovers a source of power. Sometimes change comes slowly, sometimes it takes patience. But in every moment that you choose to let go of the old, you bring the new closer. And this new is already knocking at the door, even if you don't hear it yet. Remember this simple truth. For something new to appear, you have to get rid of the old. Make room inside yourself. Pour out the old tea, empty the cup, and then you will see how life begins to change. Perhaps you won't become an ideal in one lifetime, but you will definitely be able to become better than you were yesterday. And this is what true development is. Ultimately, the path is not about reaching the summit one day. The path is about taking a step every day, being a little freer every day than you were yesterday. And then your whole life turns into a movement toward the light. And if right now you feel stuck, that the old won't let you go, then take the first step. Tell yourself, I'm ready. I no longer want to hold on to what's holding me back. And then you will see how the new begins to enter your life.